Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT-Master II, reference 116710LN. You can see this green GMT hand, super case, ceramic bezel, Rolex GMT-Master II, and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, additional accessories included in the sale, and of course complete pricing details for this Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT-Master II. Every once in a while you slap your forehead and you can't believe you missed something obvious. At least something this obvious, given my line of work and having reviewed just about every sub-variant of the GMT with ceramic bezel. I'm shocked that this channel doesn't have a review of the basic steel model, and that's what we have here today. A timepiece heralded by the 2005 Supercase GMT-C in yellow gold. This is a watch that is a little bit more versatile, perhaps less heralded than the black and blue, but perhaps also more enduring and more versatile in its aesthetic. A watch that on my wrist wears easily with a 40mm diameter, a reasonable thickness of only 12.1 despite the rotating bezel, and a lug-to-lug measurement, as you can see, of a tidy 48.5 expanding to 51.1 if you include the solid end links of the bracelet. As you can see, the plane of the case is flat and the bezel is sloped. It will slide easily underneath the dress cuff, and I have no difficulty wearing it on my wrist. I would even say you could wear it on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Now, popping open the clasp, you can see just how much we've departed from historical Rolex practice. No more hollow end links, no more hollow center links, no more stamped clasps. This is a bracelet so deluxe, it almost seems like heresy to suggest you would even put it on a strap, though should you wish to, the lug spacing is 20mm. Now, the handsome finish speaks to the premium quality of the GMT within Rolex's lineup. The contrasting center polished links, satin outers, and polished flanks, representative of the watch's stature within the Rolex model line, and you can see the same degree of attention to detail, status and stature, as there is a fully polished clasp interior. In general, these will be media blasted on an entry-level Rolex model. You'll also note over time just how complicated the retention system for the clasp has become. This is a mark of the over-engineering that Rolex invests in each of these watches. There's also a good deal of clever and useful engineering going, and as you can see, the Rolex 5mm Easy Link system, tool-free, take in or take out 5mm. It's the equivalent of adding or removing one sizable link with no need for intervention by a jeweler. You'll also note the attention to detail in the channeling of the clasp. So both laterally from side to side and top to bottom, when you put the clamshell in place, the flanks are flush and the tops are flush with only a small kerf into which you can dig your nail to open up the clasp. Slick. Moving back to the watch, if there's any detriment to the super case, which is more substantial, more solid, and more impressive on the wrist, it may be that it is so squared off and devoid of curves. The sides are sheer, and you'll note that the lugs themselves are broad, butch, and perhaps more macho, squared off, and robust in profile, while losing some of the elegance of the old tapered and beveled lugs of the prior GMT. But when you get to the bezel, all is forgiven, as here's where quality really asserts itself. It's Rolex Cerachrom, beautiful gloss black. It's as scratch resistant as the sapphire for practical purposes, so none of the old style GMT Master, Submariner, or Sea Dweller scarring of an anodized insert. Now it gets better. Into all of these wells for the indices and numerals, platinum has been deposited, so the numerals themselves can never scratch off, and of course you have a bi-directional action. If you set the green GMT hand, which has just disappeared underneath the Cyclops, we may as well dislodge it for the sake of demonstration, but if you were to set that to Greenwich Mean Time, you would be in a position to use the bi-directional rotating 24-hour GMT style bezel to temporarily find 3 time zones: your local, Greenwich, and a reference time. So the watch giving you the ability to do things that the original GMT Master, which was truthfully just a single time zone watch with a rotating bezel and a 24-hour hand, could never do. You'll also note that everything on the dial is large, white gold, and maximum visibility. So this is a maxi style modern Rolex dial with bigger indices than in the past. All of them are beautifully blazoned in this variant with Rolex's proprietary luminescent material. There will be a lovely luminescent shot at the end of the video. All of the indices, as well as the hands at center, are white gold to resist corrosion and tarnish indefinitely. And you'll also note that the dial base itself is a beautiful glossy lacquer that is rich, reflective, and scintillating, perfectly matched with the gloss and the gleam of the white gold. Of course, green GMT hand, a signature of this generation of the GMT Master, and you'll note the same signature just above superlative chronometer officially certified at 6 o'clock. It does not feature the full green date disc that you'd see on the yellow gold version of the watch, but again, this watch is designed to be a little bit more reserved than that anniversary model. Now inside, proprietary Rolex manufacturer caliber 3186, 31 jewels, 48-hour power reserve, automatic winding with smooth bi-directional action, a number of refinements, a full balance bridge, and a free-sprung index for shock resistance. Rolex uses its own micro-stella bolts for precise adjustment of the watch in multiple positions to achieve a chronometer rating, which this watch is. It is a chronometer. It also features a parachrom blue alloy about its Breguet overcoil hairspring, the alloy giving the watch a measure of anti-magnetism, and the overcoil profile helping the watch to keep good time and remain precise in any orientation with respect to gravity. This is important for the chronometer test, but more generally, it's important because the watch will not be in a static position on your wrist, and should it rest on your dresser in a single position, any position with respect to gravity, the overcoil will come into play and help to even out the timing gain or loss. This is a watch that also features the dual time functionality inherent to the GMT Master IIs, since the original 16760 of the 80s, and you have the ability to set that local hour hand independently from the 24-hour hand, that 24-hour hand making one circuit of the dial every day. You also pull the crown, and you have a hacking seconds function, so you can stop that semi-lollipop hand, and you'll note it has double bulbs to precisely synchronize to a known accurate reference time. A handsome and versatile watch, perhaps the most underrated of the current GMT Master IIs. It's also one of my favorites. You can see and you can purchase this versatile timepiece, which is all that I've mentioned, an aviator's watch and water resistant to 100 meters, on our website. And we're back with the Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT Master II 116710LN. As you can see, beautiful in blue Rolex chromalite. And you can see that broad bulb of the seconds hand circulating as the movement beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. Secured by a screw-down crown. This is a watch that's ready to go for the beach, or if you do want to use it in its original paradigm as a aviation timepiece, perfectly acceptable for seaplane pilots with its robust water resistance. Make it yours on our website.